Have you ever noticed your feet swelling at the end of the day and told yourself, it's just because I've been standing too long? What if I told you that simple swelling or even a tingling you brush off as nothing could be the first silent cry for help from your kidneys? Every single year, millions of Americans walk into my clinic with kidney failure. And here's the frightening part. Most of them had no idea until it was too late. They thought as long as they were making urine, their kidneys must be fine. But the truth is your kidneys can be failing even while they're still producing urine. And that false sense of security is exactly why so many end up on dialysis machines, wishing they had noticed the warning signs earlier. I'm Dr. Johnny, a board-certified kidney specialist, and today I'm going to reveal something that may shock you. Your feet, yes, your very own feet, can reveal 7 toxic warning signs of kidney failure long before most blood tests do. And if you recognize these signs early, you could protect yourself from years of silent damage, endless medical bills, and even the need for a kidney transplant. So stay with me, because what I'm about to share could quite literally change and even save your life. The very first sign you need to watch for is swelling in your feet and ankles. It might look innocent. Your shoes feel a little tight at the end of the day, or you notice sock marks pressing deep into your skin. But in my clinic, I've seen countless patients who thought this was nothing more than fatigue. One of them, a man in his early 60s, brushed it off for months until his kidneys failed so badly he needed dialysis. By then, it was too late to reverse. Here's the science: your kidneys are responsible for filtering extra water and balancing sodium. When they weaken, excess fluid builds up in the tissues of your legs and feet. That swelling you see isn't just water weight, it's a toxic red flag that your kidneys can no longer do their job. Doctors call it edema, and it can be tested easily. If you press your finger against your foot and the dent stays, that's pitting edema, a major warning signal. According to the National Kidney Foundation, more than 30 million Americans live with chronic kidney disease, and fluid retention in the feet is one of the most overlooked signs. So if you're struggling to slip on your shoes or your ankles look puffier by evening, don't ignore it. Talk to your doctor, because this may be your body's first desperate cry for help. But just recognizing swelling is not enough, because the danger doesn't stop there. Sometimes your feet don't just swell, they start to lose sensation, leading to a problem far more insidious. And that's where the real trouble begins. If swelling is the body's way of screaming for help, then numbness or tingling in your feet is its silent whisper, and it can be even more dangerous. Many of my patients have told me, Dr. Johnny, my feet just feel like pins and needles at night, but I thought it was because of my shoes. One man ignored that tingling for over a year. By the time he came to see me, his nerves were so damaged by toxins, his feet could barely feel the floor. Here's the truth: when your kidneys fail, toxins like urea build up in your blood. Those toxins don't just sit there, they irritate and damage your nerves, a condition we call peripheral neuropathy. Studies show that up to 60% of patients with chronic kidney disease experience some level of neuropathy, often starting in the feet. It can feel like burning numbness or a constant buzzing under the skin. And the danger is not only the pain. If your feet can't sense properly, you can step on a sharp object, cut yourself, and never feel it until it becomes a serious infection. Think about it. What starts as a little tingling could set off a chain reaction, leading to open wounds, infections, even amputations. That's how sneaky kidney disease can be. It robs your senses quietly while you're not even paying attention. If you notice this creeping sensation in your feet, don't shrug it off. Get tested, because catching it early could save you from a lifetime of pain. But here's where it gets even more alarming. Sometimes the problem isn't just numbness or tingling, it's pain so deep in the bones of your feet that it feels like they're breaking from the inside. And that's the next toxic sign of kidney failure you need to know. Swelling and tingling are dangerous enough, but when your feet begin to ache in ways you can't explain, that's when the red flags start flying. I once had a patient, a retired teacher, who told me, "Dr. Johnny, I thought the pain in my feet was just from old age and bad shoes." But when we checked his labs, the truth was clear. His kidneys were failing, and the pain was coming from the inside out. Here's why. Your kidneys don't just filter toxins. They also control how your body uses calcium, phosphorus, and vitamin D. When they stop working, the balance collapses and your bones become fragile, a condition we call renal osteodystrophy. That bone pain often shows up first in the feet because they carry the weight of your entire body. Add to that another nightmare: gout. When the kidneys can't filter, uric acid crystals form in the joints, especially the big toe. The pain is sharp, fiery, and often strikes at night. If you've ever had gout, you know it feels like walking on broken glass. Science backs this up. According to research published in the American Journal of Kidney Diseases, gout is up to 4 times more common in people with chronic kidney disease. That stabbing pain in your toe may not be random. It could be your body's urgent message that your kidneys are under attack. So if you wake up with unexplained foot pain or your toe feels like it's on fire, don't just blame it on the shoes you wore yesterday. Your kidneys may be sounding an alarm that you can't afford to ignore. But pain is only one piece of the puzzle. Sometimes the warning signs aren't about how your feet feel, but how they look. And those changes in skin color could be the most chilling clue of all. Sometimes the warnings aren't about swelling or pain at all. They're written right on the surface of your skin. I'll never forget a woman in her 50s who came to see me for routine lab work. Before I even looked at her results, I glanced at her feet and knew something was wrong. Her toes had a pale, almost bluish tint and small patches of darkened skin around her ankles. That was her kidneys speaking through her circulation. Here's the science: kidney disease often goes hand in hand with circulation problems. High blood pressure and diabetes, 2 of the leading causes of kidney failure, also damage blood vessels in your feet. When blood doesn't flow properly, oxygen can't reach the skin. That's why your feet may look unusually pale bluish or even black in severe cases of gangrene. Poor venous return can cause redness and dark patches, while scratching from kidney-related itching can leave scars and hyperpigmentation. What seems like a harmless change in skin tone could actually be a sign that your kidneys and blood vessels are struggling. According to the American Diabetes Association, poor wound healing and skin discoloration are major red flags of both diabetes and kidney disease. That means your feet could be broadcasting silent warnings long before you feel sick. So if you notice unusual color changes, white, blue, black, or stubborn dark patches, don't wait. Get your kidneys checked. Because the truth is, these color changes are more than cosmetic. They can be the start of ulcers, infections, and permanent damage. And when the skin itself begins to itch and crack, that's the next toxic sign of kidney failure you cannot afford to miss. Now let's talk about a symptom that many people laugh off, but I can tell you it drives patients crazy: dry, itchy feet. One gentleman in his 70s once told me, "Dr. Johnny, I'd rather deal with back pain than this constant itching in my ankles. I scratch until I bleed, and nothing makes it stop." When we ran his labs, his phosphorus levels were sky high, and his kidneys were failing. That itch wasn't just skin deep, it was coming from inside his blood. Here's the truth: when your kidneys are weak, phosphorus and toxins build up in your bloodstream. They irritate your skin, causing relentless itching, especially around the feet and ankles where circulation is slower. Add in the fact that kidney disease can cause vitamin D deficiencies and electrolyte imbalances, and your skin becomes drier, flakier, and more prone to cracking. Lotions and soaps may bring temporary relief, but they can't fix what's happening at the root: the kidney's inability to filter waste. Research shows that more than 40% of patients with chronic kidney disease suffer from persistent itching, and in advanced stages it can be unbearable. Imagine losing sleep every night because your feet won't stop itching. That's the reality for many people who didn't recognize this warning sign early. So if your feet feel like they're on fire with itchiness, don't just blame the soap, the detergent, or the dry weather. It could be your kidneys screaming through your skin. But itching is just the beginning. Because when your kidneys fail to support proper circulation and nerve health, those cracks in your skin can open into something much worse: ulcers that refuse to heal, leaving your feet vulnerable to infections you might not even feel coming. If you thought itching was frustrating, imagine discovering an open sore on your foot that simply won't heal. That's exactly what happened to one of my patients, a man who worked as a mechanic for 30 years. He noticed a small blister on his heel after wearing tight boots. Weeks later, it hadn't healed, it had turned into an ulcer. By the time he came to me, the infection had spread and he needed surgery. The hidden culprit: kidney failure that had weakened both his circulation and his nerves. Here's why this happens. When your kidneys decline, your arteries and veins are affected too. Poor arterial flow means less oxygen reaches your feet, while poor venous return causes congestion and swelling. Combine that with neuropathy, the numbness we talked about earlier, and you may not even feel the cut, blister, or sore until it's too late. Science shows that patients with chronic kidney disease have a much higher risk of non-healing ulcers, and once an ulcer forms, the risk of infection skyrockets. In severe cases, these infections can lead to amputations. Think about it. What starts as a tiny sore could spiral into losing part of your foot. That's how devastating kidney disease can be if ignored. So if you notice wounds, blisters, or cracks that refuse to close, don't wait. Get your feet examined and get your kidneys tested. Because ulcers are not just painful, they're a silent warning that the entire system is failing. And if that wasn't unsettling enough, there's one last sign that keeps patients awake at night, literally shaking their legs, desperate for relief. The final warning sign is one that can rob you of sleep and peace of mind: restless leg syndrome. I remember a patient in her late 50s who told me, "Dr. Johnny, every night when I try to sleep, my legs feel like they're crawling inside. I kick, I shake, I can't get comfortable, and I'm exhausted every morning." She thought it was stress, but it was her kidneys failing silently. Here's what's happening. When your kidneys weaken, they produce less erythropoietin, the hormone that keeps you from becoming anemic. Low red blood cell counts, iron deficiency, and nerve irritation all combine to trigger restless leg syndrome. That's why so many kidney patients describe a burning, crawling, or tingling sensation that forces them to move their feet constantly. It's not just annoying, it's a direct consequence of kidney disease disrupting your blood and nerve health. Studies show that restless leg syndrome is significantly more common in people with chronic kidney disease than in the general population, and it's linked to poor sleep, higher blood pressure, and faster disease progression. In other words, what feels like a harmless nighttime annoyance may actually be a sign your kidneys are in real danger. So if your legs won't stop moving at night, don't dismiss it as just nerves. It could be your body's final alarm bell. And here's the most important part when you put all 7 of these signs together, from swelling to numbness: pain, skin changes, itching, ulcers, and restless legs. They form a map pointing directly to your kidneys. Recognizing them early could mean the difference between living a normal life and spending your days on dialysis. Now, I know we've covered a lot today, and if you're sitting there thinking, "I've noticed 1 or 2 of these signs in myself," let me tell you this: don't panic, but don't ignore it either. The most important thing I want you to take away is that awareness is power. You are already ahead of the curve just by watching this video, because now you know what so many people miss until it's too late. Kidney disease can be sneaky, but if you catch it early, you have the power to slow it down, control it, and in some cases, even stop it from progressing. I've had patients who came to me late in the game already needing dialysis, and they told me over and over, "Dr. Johnny, I wish I had paid attention earlier. I wish someone had told me what to look for." That regret is heavy, and I don't want you or anyone you care about to ever carry that burden. The good news is you're here now learning, and that means you can take steps today to protect yourself. So here's my advice. If you've noticed swelling, numbness, pain color changes, itching ulcers, or restless legs, don't brush them off. Get them checked. Talk to your doctor. Simple tests can reveal how your kidneys are functioning, and early treatment can make all the difference. Take care of your blood pressure, watch your blood sugar, stay hydrated, and eat a balanced, kidney-friendly diet. Small daily choices really do add up to years of better health. And here's something else: don't keep this knowledge to yourself. Share it. Save this video so you can come back to it whenever you need a refresher, and send it to a friend or family member who might be experiencing these same issues. It may seem like a small action, but it could save someone you love from years of unnecessary suffering. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Every week, I bring you clear, evidence-based information that can empower you to take control of your kidney health. This isn't about fear. It's about giving you the tools to live a longer, stronger, healthier life. And let's face it, the internet is full of myths and miracle claims that don't work. What I share here is real, proven, and made for you. By subscribing, you're not just following a channel, you're joining a community of people who are committed to protecting their health and supporting one another. And let me say this, I know how overwhelming it can feel when you hear words like kidney failure or dialysis. But I've seen time and time again that when people take action early, when they stay informed and consistent, they can change their future. You have more control than you think. The human body is resilient. With knowledge, attention, and care, you can give your kidneys the best chance to keep serving you for years to come. So let me leave you with this thought. Your feet may be small compared to the rest of your body, but the signs they show you can carry a big message about your health. Pay attention to them. Respect them. They may be the difference between a future full of hospital visits and one filled with freedom, energy, and joy. I want you to live your healthiest, happiest life. And I want you to feel confident that you're doing everything you can to protect it. So save this video, subscribe for more medical insights, and share this knowledge widely. Together, we can spread awareness, catch kidney disease early, and help more people live the long, fulfilling lives they deserve. I'm Dr. Johnny. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. Stay